All right, y'all. Listen, if you're tired right now, like tired in your spirit, in your bones, in your bank account, in your goals, this episode is for you. Because I woke up this morning ready to record and immediately wanted to go right back to sleep. And that told me everything I needed to know about where we all are right now. We're out here trying to be successful, spiritual, soft life, healed, disciplined, glowing, drinking our water, hustling, and maintaining our edges. And baby, it's a little bit too much. This episode is for the people who are in that in between. Like, I love God, but I'm exhausted. I have goals, but I really need a nap. And Lord, expand my territory, but maybe not today. This is God, goals, and baby, I'm tired. Let's talk. So, scrolling TikTok the other night when I should have been asleep because it was probably about 1:45 in the morning. And I came across this video of a girl saying, I'm tired of trying to be that girl. I just want to be a girl who wakes up on time. And I felt that, y'all. The that girl aesthetic, when I see that now, to me, that's just burnout. Because some of y'all in that aesthetic who are, I'm that girl, I'm that chick. What are you doing? You are getting up at 3 a.m. to put on makeup, to record videos, for what, maybe a couple thousand people who don't necessarily care. Like, what purpose does that have? You're getting up, doing all of these routines, putting on all these clothes, snapping pictures, and it's just a picture because your life is not what it is as you present it on social media. Everywhere I look, it's 5 a.m. routines, millionaire habits, manifest your dream life. Well, let's be honest. If you're manifesting your dream life and it's the soft life, that soft life is expensive. Soft life to me means money. Yes, I want to live the soft life where I go and grab a cup of tea because I don't drink coffee. I want to go to the spa and do all of the things and have my clothes and have my little foo-foo dog or whatever. It costs a whole bunch of money. And the question is, who's paying for that? Is it you? Your sugar daddy? Who's paying for all of this? Soft life is expensive. I mean, I've seen, now, don't get me wrong, I love me some Jackie Aina, okay? But she got the money to spend and have the soft life that she wants because guess what? She worked for it. And kudos to you, Miss Jackie Aina, Jackie Asamoah. Yes, like she did all the things, but she put in work for a whole bunch of years. So now she can live the soft life that she wants. Now, truthfully, kudos to all the y'all living the soft life. I'd just be excited and happy for myself that I updated my schedule and calendar, that I checked something off my to-do list. Like we are living in vastly different worlds with that one. But here's the thing that nobody's telling you about, you wanting to, manifest your dream life and all of this. Being ambitious and being exhausted will absolutely exist at the same time. This shortcut to success culture, these trends, these hustle hacks, the morning girl routines, yeah, we're hoping as black and brown women that we're gonna go viral off of this and have that shortcut to, making $10,000 a post or $50,000 a post or have a $75,000 brand deal. Maybe that's not necessarily the case for us because as we know, as black and brown women, they do not like to promote us like that. And by they, I mean mainstream society and even these social media algorithms have gotten it some type of way programmed into them that if their skin is darker, please push them to the bottom of the pile because we don't want to see them. I can't tell you how many times I scroll on social media and the people that I follow who are black and brown are the top ones in my feed. I have to keep scrolling for about 10 minutes to finally start seeing them. Don't want to see you white people. Don't. I love you with the love of the Lord, but I don't want to see you. And it's exhausting. It is. but we still yet go and have our ambitions to try to put everything out there as much as we possibly can. And it just takes a lot. And then this pressure to have a side hustle, main hustle, and a hobby hustle is wild to me. First and foremost, let's say this: a hobby is something that you do to break the monotony of what you're doing on a regular basis. I guess some people have turned their hobbies into their hustles and into their passion. That's great, but you do not need to have a hustle of hobbying. I said that back with y'all. I mean, a hobby of hustling. That shows you how tired I am. But we're living in a world where everyone looks like they're just trying to achieve something every day, every minute, and every second of the day. But the truth is, half of us are running on iced coffee, gospel music, and some vibes. And honestly, I don't think we're tired because we lack discipline. We're tired because we're human. And we always trying to, I guess, outhuman the next person is the best way I can put it. But we're going to unpack this. Because first and foremost, this pressure to be everything, whew, it's wild out here. Everybody's out here announcing their wins, promotions, side hustles, hobby hustles, their new LLC. And I'm just sitting here like, Lord, did I miss the meeting? Did I miss this? Like, that we all supposed to be starting these things? Now, I get it in this economy, you want to because it's a struggle. But this expectation that you got to be productive 24/7, I don't know where it came from. And I'm starting to think that it goes back to slavery. I really do. That may be controversial, but hear me out. When our ancestors were slaves, they were supposed to be productive from sun up to sundown. In some type of way, we have inherited this culture of I gotta be doing something 24/7. That is not the case. Because when you stop and think about billionaires, are they working 24/7? No, they have teams of people who are, but they themselves are not. Just like the slave masters. But I'm gonna work maybe 4 or 5 hours after day. If that, and I'm still making money. Yep. Starting to think it's just the cycle's starting to repeat itself and we are just falling into it hook, line, and sinker. And social media is having all of us out here thinking that, you're the only one that didn't launch a business the day before. And that's crazy because social media is just really helping in that comparing yourself to other people and their timelines. Has it ever occurred to some of us on social media, like when we see it, that it's a lie? Because 20 times out of 10, it is. Now, for those launching their businesses, because I'm not going to knock you, I'm an entrepreneur myself. I own my own business and I'm always going to be talking about it. Will I post on social media about it? Not too often, but I'm about to start. And for me, it's just, I was comparing myself to other people, imposter syndrome showed up. And I was like, well, they're doing this and they're doing that. I should be doing this and doing that. And it occurred to me, hey, that's their life. Maybe that's all they got going for them. I got other things going for me. You never know. I mean, not being funny, but it happens. And especially for me being in my 30s. What can we say about that? Being in my 30s, I'm sitting here thinking that I should have done more in my early 20s. I should have set myself up for success in certain things. And that is, it's not stupid, but it kind of is. Because where I am now in my 20s, podcasting, content creation, things like that weren't really a thing. Social media was still in its infancy stage. And we were all trying to figure it out together. And some people just, they could see the future before the rest of us could. But can I help for you real quick? You're not behind, you're not late, and you're definitely not failing. You're growing, and growth takes time. And in growth, sometimes things are slowed down. And quite frankly, I don't know where we started guilting ourselves into thinking that if I slow down, I'm not doing what I should be doing. Sometimes you do need to slow down. Sometimes you are simply rushing your life away instead of being in the moment, enjoying the moment, and learning from the moment. And you need to stop and smell the roses sometimes. Stop, take a break. I think sometimes we're starting to treat success like salvation. Like if we don't have any success, then we're not, saved. That's like the equivalent to it. But sometimes I'm starting to see the people like if I don't hit this specific goal or this specific intention by our timeline, and I said hour for a reason, you're gonna think, oh, God's disappointed in me. When did God tell you to go do that? Inquiring minds want to know. Did he tell you, or did you tell yourself that? And then try to blame it on God that he told you to go do this. Now there are times where he does tell you to go do something. I'm not gonna lie, he will. But all the time it's not him talking to you and saying it. Sometimes it's you talking to yourself. But honestly, God isn't sitting there panicking that we did not hit a goal. We are the ones who are panicking. We are the ones pulling out our hair because we were like, I didn't accomplish this. Society was the one that told us that we needed to have a 5-year plan. God was just like, give me today. I just need you to talk to me today. Like he takes it a day at a time. I don't know why we be trying to take it 6 months in one day at a time. But, you know, we are human. You know that feeling where you just be grinding so hard that your body is like, I'm shutting down, whether you agree with me or not. Yeah, I'm going to now label that as hustle hangover. And hustle hangover can, manifest itself in many different ways. Number one, physical exhaustion. Let's be honest. I know you have been there where you have done so much that your body shuts down. I know you've been there and don't lie and say you haven't. I remember a couple of years ago, I was saying yes to everything events at church, work stuff, helping out other people. And I came home, and when I tell you, my body was like, girl, we in shutdown mode. We are shutting it down. There, nothing shall open up for the next 18 hours. Yeah, I have been there. And guess what? I don't go there anymore because I have learned that physical exhaustion to the point where your body shuts down is absolute insanity. Like, don't let your body get to that point. When your body starts feeling pain or anything like that, it's going to send out those those little signals are going to be sent out to you. That pain or whatever discomfort your body is feeling, please listen to it. It's there for a reason. It's there to help you, to tell you to stop, to rest, to get still. And then we have the emotional burnout from that hustle hangover. That where you have poured so much of yourself out that you have nothing left for you. It's almost like you're walking around like a ghost or a shadow of yourself. I will say this, and I want to always say this, so get used to hearing it from me. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I have been there to the point where I have poured out into other people. I just keep giving and keep giving and keep giving and try to find little areas of myself to give out. And then I reached a point of emotional burnout. And sometimes emotional burnout can result in people snapping at you or looking at you like you have lost your mind. It's not that you've necessarily done something to that person. It's just a way that our emotions they've taken a toll. They're fried. So now you don't have no filter. You don't have anything stopping you from wanting to punch somebody in the face. Sorry, not sorry. But all I'm gonna say is this, because I had a time where I was doing so much at church where I wanted to burn down the church and the people in the church. Sad to say it, but that's where I felt that because I had given so much of myself that I just really had nothing left to give. And I've learned to set boundaries. I've learned to say, nope, can't do that. Go ask somebody else because I'm not the one that you need to ask. Then you have that mental fatigue. I know everybody's talked to somebody where y'all in the middle of a conversation and they just drift off and you be like, hey, you good? And they be like, what were we talking about? Yeah, mental fatigue, mental exhaustion is crazy. Now, I will say this physical exhaustion normally comes up first, but once you reach the point of mental exhaustion, that I feel like mental exhaustion tires you out a lot more than physical exhaustion. And sometimes they segue one into the other, where you're so mentally tired that your body will shut down so that your brain can catch a break. And then there is the one thing that hustle hangover, well, that causes hustle hangover, which is overcommitment. Stop committing yourself to everything. You are not the end all be all. There are other people to do it for you. I was talking to a young man at my church who I consider like a little brother, and he was saying, "Well, I can't miss church because they don't have anyone to replace me in the tenor section." And I said, "God forbid that the Lord took you today. But if you don't show up at church, they got other people that can sing." And he was like, "No, they don't." I said, didn't we have a whole male chorus of people who can sing? I was like, "Don't we have a male praise team?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "And they don't sing. Why?" And he just stared at me because I don't think he had ever thought about that there are other people that can do the job that you can do. Sometimes you just need to take a break and tell them, hey, I'm not singing today. Or hey, I'm not doing this today. Get somebody else to do it because I need a break. Like we glorify this grind culture, but the reality is that your purpose is not activated by your exhaustion. And here's just a little twist of faith to put in here for you if you didn't hear me the first time. Sometimes God is not the one saying to do more. God is saying, my son, my daughter, put it down and rest. Rest is not rebellion, people. It's not. It's reverence. Take that time to rest because, baby, you're gonna need it. And let's be honest, sometimes faith feels like another thing that you're not doing well enough. Faith starts to feel like a to do list. Because have you ever been so tired that you forgot to pray? Or you fall asleep or trying to read the Bible and trying to make this connection with God? Yeah, been there, done that. I have felt guilty because I didn't feel like I was praying enough. Now, I was praying, it just may not have been a daily intensive prayer, but I was praying on a regular basis. And it's crazy to me, y'all, because I was asleep and I was dreaming, and it was a very vivid dream. And I was just like, oh my God, what are we going to do? First thing I started doing was praying. Now, I can't tell you if the person that I was praying for was real or fake in my dream, but it gave me a sense of peace to know that even in my sleep, my first thought was of prayer and not to be like, I got to fix this on my own. Because I was in a place where I was like, oh, I don't think I'm doing enough. But guess what? That helped to assuage my guilt by not, thinking that I was like, I'm not praying enough. And then sometimes you feel like you can't be spiritual and burn out. Let me correct that for you. You can be spiritual and burn out. It's going to happen. Because let's be honest, God's not keeping score the way we are. He's not sitting in heaven like, oh, you missed your daily devotional. We docking that blessing. We not that blessing ain't coming to you today. No, no, no. He's not doing that. That's the way we think. Because guess what? Our relationship with God isn't performance based. This is not like if I do this, he's going to do this. Honestly, if you wake up breathing, he did something for you. Yeah, he already started working before you even was conscious. Um, and sometimes, we feel like we can't be tired and still serve the Lord. But you are allowed to be tired. Because guess what? He's still gonna love you. And what about those times when your faith routine feels so forced? Yeah, like for me, I felt at one point that I was forced to go to church. Not because somebody was physically dragging me there, but because it did become a routine and I was not gleefully and gladly going to church. Um, Transparency moment. This year in September, I took a month off from church. Well, from my church, because I still ended up going to some other people's services and things like that. I gave my first little mini sermon in September, which was great. I was terrified. It took me about 3 weeks to get to the point of comfortable to share whatever it is that God had for me to share. I went to visited some other churches, but on Sunday, I did not attend anybody's church service in person. I was Bedside Baptist. Okay. And for me, taking that break from a forced feeling routine, I heard God louder than I had heard him in a long time because I silenced out the noise of my church, those church doctrines that are not really doctrines, it's just cliques and people that's telling you that you should do this and trying to justify it with scripture. Because, yeah, we do have churches like that. And I was feeling that way. But when I took that break, and I just literally communed with me and God. Like I spent time with Him. Best thing I have ever done in my life. And because I was feeling tension between wanting God, being tired, and having to be at this church. And I know somebody's going to say, then why don't you just leave the church? Well, I honestly had overcommitted to too many things trying to be a helpful person because I do greatly enjoy serving. So I pull back from a lot of things. I still pull back from those things. I do not do everything. I am not a participant in all of those things. I am just there to show support from time to time. And honestly, now I don't even drive to show the support. I'm like, oh, you did such a great job. They're like, you were there? Nope. But I know you did. Or I just watch it online because I don't have time. I need to make sure I'm still hearing God and hearing Him freshly. And I'm going to say this sometimes you have this tension between wanting God and trying to do what you think we should be doing down here. To break that tension, pray and ask God what it is exactly that He wants you to do. Because He is the one guiding and ordering our steps, and He's the one that knows best for us. So you're probably asking, now, Darissa, so how do I move forward and what should I be doing? Well, we need to redefine what your goals, what you want your life to look like. Take a step back. Let's look at your life strategically. Are you doing too much? Then you need to use rest as a strategy, not as a weakness because you've just gotten so tired from doing so much. Maybe you need to take it one small step at a day, you know, one small step a day. Whatever it is you're doing, maybe I can only do it today. I can't do it for the rest of the week. Maybe you need to pause. Now, I'm not saying quit everything. I did, but that was because I have reached that point over years, not months, but years, that I quit some things. I did because I just couldn't take it anymore. Sometimes you may need to pause and catch your breath. You don't need to consistently grind and do all these things. You need to find your rhythm in your life to redefine your rest, to redefining your goals. And choose goals that are rooted in purpose, not pressure. One of the goals I know I have for my life is that I want to continuously be able to help people, which is why I started the business that I started. I started a digital marketing business, digital marketing agency, where I help people who are solopreneurs. I help ministries and churches, and I also help small businesses because a lot of times a small business or a small ministry can grow into a large one if they have someone who is strategically looking at how to do it. The same thing applies to your own life. What is your why? What is your purpose in life? And if you don't know it, please pray and ask our Father above, what is it that I am supposed to be doing while you have me here on this earth? You have to be rooted in a purpose, not the pressure of society, not the pressures that you put on yourself. Because yes, we put pressures on ourselves unknowingly because we're comparing ourselves to someone else. That's a pressure that we're putting on ourselves that God never asked us to put upon ourselves. And you have to start making space for joy. You have to start taking sometimes and having a slow, easy Saturday morning or, a easy Sunday morning before you go to church. I mean, take time out for yourself. Take time to recharge you. A couple of the favorite things I love to do. I love to read and I love to do a little crafting. And I also really, really love to cook. I like to experiment with different flavors and things like that. Do something just for you, not with any other purpose, just to make you happy. And I will say this as you move forward after redefining, make sure you're taking small steps. Do not glamorize burnout because it's not fun to be like, oh, child, that just did too much. Burnout is you not establishing a boundary for yourself. You have to learn to start establishing boundaries for you. And as far as rest goes, know that rest is also very productive. Peace is productive. Clarity absolutely is productive. Now, before we go, I just want to speak something over you for today. Just little simple prayer. God, help us stop confusing exhaustion with achievement. Help us rest without guilt. Help us dream without pressure and fear. And help us trust that slowing down isn't falling behind, but it is falling into alignment with you. In Jesus' name. Now, if you don't pray, because I know everybody does not, here's something that you can say to yourself this week: I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to slow down. I am allowed to be human. My goals will not collapse if I take a breath. I am enough, even when I'm tired. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Save with a Twist. Just go out there, drink your water, stretch your shoulders, and stop acting like you're supposed to be a superhuman. You're doing enough. I promise. Catch you next week.